Hello everyone, welcome to Gradeup, and I welcome you all to another class of the important topic series of YouTube. And in today's class, we shall be specifically seeing about the significance of Make in India in the defense sector. So as you know, the defense sector of the country, and or for that matter any country, is the most crucial part, in the entire international theory, or in the international security, and to protect our sovereignty. Defense plays a very important part. Okay, right from the times of Kautilya to your idealism to realism in international theory, or constructivism and cosmopolitanism, across everything there is a set role of defense. And in India also, defense, obviously, it plays a major important role, especially in our volatile neighborhood of Pakistan and China. And we in India, our defense budget or our defense policy is in a precarious position, in the situation that we are importing almost 60% of our defense products from outside. Okay, India is the second largest importer of the military equipment all around the world, right? So definitely defense is important, but the issue is about the defense imports and how much it causes a fiscal deficit, or how much it has its effect on the employment situation, on the indigenous production systems of India, and so on. So that is our mandate of today's class, where we shall see the problems with the defense sector and how our Make in India offers a solution here, right? And this is prominently in news mainly because we have had the recent defense acquisition procedure, which was unveiled by our defense minister, Mr. Rajnath Singh ji. He had unveiled the defense acquisition procedure, which had taken over the defense procurement policy of 2016. We'll discuss about that at length in today's class. And this is directly there in our syllabus, in our UPSC syllabus, under indigenization of technology and development of new technology. Okay. So it's directly mentioned in the syllabus of main syllabus, and that shows its importance. That shows the importance of how much we need the indigenization of technology. Of course, they've given of technology, but the main role is of defense technology. Okay, this would be the crucial role of the defense technology in terms of the indigenization. So as I was saying, what is the significance of Make in India in the defense sector? First of all, India has its own superpower ambition. Right from the times of Nehruvian times, when India had thought of the Asian century, or how India should be at the forefront of development of the developing countries and emerging countries, and of the, so to say, third world, how we want to become the superpower, and the growing complexity of our volatile security with our aggressive neighbors of Pakistan and China, and the China's One Belt, One Road policy, and the Pakistan's deep state terrorism which is emanating. So for all those, since there is threats of war, threats of the ceasefires, like recently we have seen the China clashes, direct clashes at the Galwan Valley clashes near your Ladakh. We had seen that. So in such situation of a volatile neighborhood, definitely defense plays a major role for us in India. But the problem is that India, it is one of the largest defense equipment importers. Okay, it is one of the largest. I mean, it uses defense products prominently, and that is required. But the problem is, it is one of the largest defense equipment importers. Okay, according to SIPRI, their Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, SIPRI, which makes the reports on the defense production and the defense importing, India accounts to almost 14% of the global arms import. मतलब जो world में the imports are going on, the defense imports, in that India holds 14%. So such a sizable figure of the imports all around the world is held by India, and India is actually second all around the world. Okay, first is your Saudi Arabia, and India is the second largest defense importer in the world. And there is 60 to 70% dependence of weapons, and forget weapons, even spares. Okay, even spares and small ammunition. All of them we are importing from outside. India, we are importing from outside. So now there is a crisis, there is a military crisis, and there is also an import crisis. because that affects our defense sovereignty. And how do we make this crisis into an opportunity? That is through Make in India. Okay, because presently we are procuring almost 800 to 900 billion worth of capital equipment every year. Such a huge figure we are importing as capital equipment, which is the big defense equipment, or the complicated or the sophisticated equipment, which are capital in nature, and the general ones of revenue equipment. This is also 250 to 300 billion. So such a sizable figure we are importing or procuring every year. And of this, you would be surprised to know that 600 billion is only spares. Okay, small nuts, bolts, ठीक है, spare parts. अगर वो machinery है, ammunition है, वो gun का एक spare part, एक rifle magazine. Okay, और हमारा, if we have the aircraft which we are getting, the Dassault Rafale aircrafts which we are getting, उसके spare parts, उसके spare tires, okay, उसके spare glass shields, all of them also we are importing, and that is 600 billion. Can you imagine? इतना ज़्यादा spare parts also we are getting. And if our aim is to manufacture 50 to 75% of this in India, how much does it become? It becomes a 300 to 400 billion dollar opportunity. Okay, at least take a capital equipment, revenue equipment, रहने दो आप. At least spares. If you just see the spares, in that 600 billion, we are getting as spares and sub-assemblies and the sub-components. So in that, at least if you can take 50%, we'll get 300 to 400 billion dollars we can save, right? And our own defense players, our own private sector defense players in India can be benefited. So this is the opportunity we can see in crisis, and that can be got through Make in India. And what are the advantages of it? First of all, we can reduce our fiscal deficit. Okay, as I told, India is the second largest arms importer after Saudi Arabia. And this higher import dependency, what does it do? It creates a fiscal deficit. Yes, fiscal deficit, which is basically your borrowings, which you get from the outside countries, and which creates a trade balance. Aapko, since you're getting so much and you're not exporting so much, that creates a direct fiscal deficit. And India, we have the 5th largest defense budget in the world. Okay, so we are spending money on defense, but where are we spending? 60% we are spending on foreign markets. So all of this we can, it can be changed by Make in India, right? And of course, there is a security imperative. As I told, it keeps the technological expertise, and it encourages spin-off technologies, जिससे innovation आ सकता है. If you're indigenizing the technology, like for example, take the space technology. The space technology, initially India had to be dependent on the foreign countries for our launches. We had to be dependent on the US or the UK for our launches. But soon our ISRO has come up. Okay, the ISRO, we are saving valuable dollars as foreign exchange through ISRO, and also many new space startups are coming up. If you're observing, there are a lot of space startups in Bangalore, in Chennai, in Hyderabad, in your Mumbai, many areas, there are space startups to launch satellites of the companies. So in that way, there can be a spin-off technology and innovations from the defense technology. Like imagine the DRDO. The DRDO makes your CBRN suits. Okay, which is the chemical, biological, radionuclide suits. Okay, जो भी अगर chemical, biological, radioactivity type disasters हुए, you can wear those suits. Okay, those are prepared by DRDO. Initially we were importing from outside, but now they are prepared by DRDO. And इसका spin-off क्या हुआ? They were used for COVID-19. Under COVID-19 situation, जो PPE kits बनाए थे, which the doctors could be worn, some of them were sourced from DRDO. So this is a spin-off technology. Okay, not only this, DRDO has 19 labs in the country, and they have some labs even in food technology. Okay, they have labs on high altitude physiology. So say there are a lot of spin-offs in health sector, in agriculture sector, because DRDO has to work on, maintaining our soldiers for long periods of time in sub-zero temperatures of your Siachen glaciers and other places. So DRDO definitely does a lot of spin-off technologies, and they can have many other benefits. So defense you shouldn't see just as a standalone sector. It is very interlinked. Many other sectors spin-offs are in here. And employment, obviously, as I was saying, by these spin-off technologies only, by health sector में, agriculture sector में, या defense production में, all this में employment का बहुत बड़ा role होगा. And as per government estimates, if you reduce 20 to 25% in defense related imports, you can create 1 lakh to 1,20,000 highly skilled jobs. Can you imagine? Just 20% if we reduce our imports, 1 lakh to 1,20,000 new jobs can be created. So that means there is such a huge opportunity, because India's, if you see the unemployment situation, even pre-COVID we were 6.1%, and post-COVID it was estimated to almost 25 to 30% unemployment rates in India presently. So by having the defense sector and Make in India, employment opportunity is such a huge boost we can get. And also strategic capability, as I told, we can project ourselves among the top global powers with our own indigenous defense production without having dependency from outside. Like for example, if you see the Stuxnet scandal which happened in 2000 during the Kargil war, the US, they had temporarily switched off their GPS signals because India and Pakistan, a war situation has coming up. So they had switched off their GPS signals. So India couldn't use the GPS signals. So in that way, if we were to develop our own indigenous technology, our own IRNSS, and our own IRNSS will have a military component, right? It has a military component also. So by that, we can have a better remote sensing. We can have a better understanding of our defense. Where are our defense equipment? Where are our defense artillery? Where is our aircrafts? Where is our submarines? All of them we can map on our own. So strategic capability, like I would say, IRNSS. IRNSS, the military component, military satellites. Okay, because this has happened. In 2000, US had switched off their GPS signal. So our own strategic autonomy was affected. So we can have such offshoots. And obviously your nationalism and patriotism. Okay, there'll be true sense of confidence and pride in our own Indian forces, Indian armed forces, that we are not depending on anybody else. But like most things in life, with such advantages, with such incentives, we also have some challenges. The most important challenges, especially in Indian defense manufacturing, is there is a lot of delay. For example, in the past 5 years, the Indian government has approved 200 defense acquisition proposals. And defense acquisition doesn't mean we are just getting technology. There is a transfer of technology provision. Okay, valued at 4 trillion rupees. Okay, 4 trillion rupees ka we have had a defense acquisition proposals over the last 5 years. But most of them, okay, 90% of them are still in very early stages of processing. So there is a lot of delay in our defense acquisition process and our transfer of technology provisions. Similarly, we are lacking critical technologies. Okay, there is poor R&D, there is poor design technology. Okay, there is inability to manufacture our major subsystems, right? So as much as ISRO has been making strides on our space technology with the advanced space technology and using the liquid propulsion, the cryogenic, DRDO has not been able to do that. Okay, so we are lacking the critical technologies in defense manufacturing, and that is because the manufacturing base which is there, the manufacturing base in the country, it is very technology intensive. So it has a long gestation period. Means if a company has to invest so and so, maybe around 50 crores for a defense manufacturing equipment, that can be covered by the company in 20 to 30 years. 50 crores can be got by the sale or use of the defense weapons It'll take a lot of time. So there is a long gestation period, and that's why many companies are not interested to invest in defense manufacturing. Okay, and there is a poor manufacturing environment, not only in defense, but you can see on the whole in the entire Make in India component, there are stringent labor laws, compliance burden, lack of skills. So because of all this, there is that poor indigenous manufacturing. Okay, that is the reason why recently we had the labor code. Okay, the labor code on wages, on your industrial relations, on your social security and health. Okay, safety and health. So on that we have the labor laws for this only, to improve our manufacturing component. And lack of critical technologies, R&D to hai, and that's the reason why DRDO, it is called as the white elephant. Means you're spending so much on it, but you're not getting the return on it. You're spending so much on it, you're spending so much on DRDO budget. We are the 5th largest defense budget all over the world, if you see. So much we are spending, but we are not getting the correct returns from it. So these are our challenges. So what is the government of India doing? Even before the defense acquisition procedure, which I told, even before the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan and Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan schemes, India, we had some policy initiatives under Make in India. Like we had a negative list of 101 items with a proper timeline that for this much time. Like what are these? They are some simple parts, your nuts and bolts, your subcomponents, your spares, okay, the tires which we saw, the glass shields which we saw, all of them, there is a negative list. That means you can't get them from outside, you should only make in India. Okay. And it's not only the spares, even high technology weapons, like your artillery guns, assault rifles, corvettes. Corvettes are small submarines, okay? Then sonar systems, transport aircrafts, all of them also, they are kept under the negative list. That means we can't import them from outside, we have to make on our own. So basic components we have done like this. And under the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, we have made that the FDI policy in defense sector, which was 49% earlier, we are making it, automatic route we are making 49% only, but in that there were no more components. Now what are we doing? In that only we are making 75% where technology transfer is involved and 100% where we are getting new technology. Okay, so the FDI policy is changed so that normally automatic route 49% of the company ownership can come through foreign sector. Okay, that was already allowed as the FDI policy. Now you're allowing that to 75% if there is a significant transfer of technology. Like imagine Dassault is there. Dassault is making your Rafale fighter aircrafts. Now Dassault, if it involves in transfer of technology, if it gives us transfer of technology of hypersonic speeds, okay, of the aerodynamic systems, of the quick takeoff or the soft landing, such technologies, if it's transferring, then it can have 75% stake. Right? So that has been tweaked in our FDI policy. Similarly, we have a strategic partnership model. 100% FDI as well as defense procurement policy are also important. What is your strategic partnership model? In this, each company, each private sector company, not every private sector, but the most important private companies, they are linked to a foreign company and they're strategically partnered, okay, to evolve a proper defense manufacturing, right? Like maybe Dassault and Reliance in India, they were linked, and Reliance would take up the strategic partnership of manufacturing the fighter aircrafts. Similarly, Tata ko you can give for submarine manufacturing. So like that, there is a strategic partnership model which is linked, right? And the last is your defense procurement policy. Earlier, based on the Dhirendra Singh committee, we had the DPP 2016. In that we had this order of preference. That is, firstly, you should buy Indian IDDM. What does IDDM mean? It is indigenously designed, developed and manufactured in India. Okay, minimum 40% indigenous content it should be there, and 60% if it is not designed and developed. Okay, if it is designed and developed outside, in that 60% it should be there, Indian content. and this is the most preferred way of getting the defense procurement appliance. So first we'll see, is there any IDDM project category equipment in the country? If that is not there, then we'll go next. Next we'll see buy Indian. So these are from the Indian vendors. So they may not be made in India, but they are the Indian vendors. So next we'll see buy and make in India. That means we get from the Indian vendors the components and we make in India. We subsequently make in India. Then we buy and make, but this is not Indian. We are getting from foreign, we are buying and we are making. And the last is buy global. So outright purchase of equipment like your Dassault Rafale. So this order was there. Okay, that is old news. Now recently, as we have seen in the news, recently in October 2020, we have launched the defense acquisition procedure. Okay, and under this, we have added another new category, buy global and manufacture in India. Okay, so that means the foreign companies only, the foreign companies and their subsidiaries, they can manufacture in India. Okay, because we have seen some R&D issues, there are delays and all. We are asking, fine, foreign company, you only come and you manufacture in India. Okay, so it is something like make in India only, but make in India, make for India. Make in India by a foreign company, right? So this was given in the DAP 2020. This new category was added. Okay, now we have a sixth category, buy global and manufacture in India. This was added recently as part of the defense acquisition procedure. And some other rules were given to fasten the problems in our, which we have seen for our significant steps of your defense sector indigenization. We have some more steps like we have some more steps like a time-bound defense procurement process. As we have seen for the past 5 years, 4 trillion the acquirement procedure was signed, but many of them are in the initial stages. So now there will be a project management unit, okay, which will seek to delay this time. The time which is taking, the time delays could, to minimize, we are making steps. And there are some reservations in categories for Indian vendors. Like as we have seen by IDDM, Production Agency in Design and Development. For all this, we are exclusively reserving for Indian vendors. Okay, and we have seen FDI limit of 49% only is there. And there is ban of certain items also we have seen, the negative list. And we are seeing an indigenization of imported spares. Okay, so the basic spares, basic components, basic subunits, subcomponents and all, we should make in India now. Okay, that policy also was there. And another important part of the DAP was the offset clause. Okay, the offset clause, we have removed it now. Like earlier, it was like this, that if you're, if we are buying from you, if you are buying from a foreign company, that foreign company has to definitely invest a fixed amount in India, okay, in the Indian company. And now we have removed this. I'll tell you why. So if the deal is done through an intergovernmental agreement and government to government or an ab initio single vendor, if there is single vendor or between the governments, the offset clause is removed. Okay, that means a compulsory investment in India, there is no compulsion presently. Okay, it will be part of the multi-vendor competitive procurement, but for intergovernment and the government to government or a single vendor, if you are getting, there is no offset clause. What was that? It was seeking to invest a contract value in India. Now the problem is that offset clause say no company had actually invested in India. They had signed that offset clause, but they are not bringing the technology to India. Okay, they're either giving obsolete technology or they are also citing delays. And India, the Indian Defense Ministry and the CAG had identified that because there is an offset clause, they are charging us more. Okay, it had resulted in foreign vendors loading extra costs in contracts. So they're charging more in the contracts, the foreign vendors, but they're not giving offset clause. Okay, so they are charging us more by these loaded costs, and they're not giving the offset clause, or they're not giving the investment. So the CAG has identified, the Comptroller and Auditor General has identified, there is not a single case where foreign vendor has transferred high technology. Then why do we need this offset clause in the first place, in which we are paying more cost? Okay, in which they are loading cost to us and we are paying more cost, and they are not immediately giving the offset clause, or they're making delays, or they're giving obsolete technology, obsolete investments they're giving. So this was removed. Fine. So as you can see, the whole defense acquisition procedure is to give thrust on Make in India, okay, of our own by IDDM, and removal of offset clauses, and limiting 49% and reservation for the Indian vendors, and so on, right? So these are the main steps. We have the Make in India, and we have the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, and linked to that only we have the defense acquisition procedure. And earlier also we had something called as IDEX, Innovation for Defense Excellence. What was this? This was an ecosystem to foster your innovation and technology development in defense and aerospace. Like it was the sort of startup challenge, or sort of what do you say, ecosystem जिसमें एक function is celebrated, मतलब एक proper seminar is conducted where you invite all the MSMEs, the startups, the individual innovators, R&D institutes, and then you can grant them funds to carry out R&D. Okay, basically to improve innovations in defense excellence. And apart from that, we have the 2 defense industrial corridors we are making now. One is in Tamil Nadu and one is in Uttar Pradesh. Okay, Tamil Nadu mein we have Chennai, Hosur, Coimbatore, Salem, that area. And Uttar Pradesh mein we have Aligarh, Agra, Jhansi, Kanpur. So what is this? Just like a normal industrial corridor where the your supply chains are linked. Okay, if you're making a defense fighter aircraft, for that there are many components. There are the tires, there are the nuts, the bolts, the wings, okay, the glass shields, the subunits, the assembly units, manufacturing units. So all of them would be assembled as part of this supply chain, okay, in these industrial corridors, in these defense industrial corridors. And we also have an indigenization portal called as SRUAN Defense. This is you can use for your prelims. What is this? This is to provide an interface between the MSME, startups, and industry for making our own in making in India, and to promote the import substitution. The imports we are getting, we have to substitute them with our domestic products. So for that we have a SRUAN Defense portal also. Okay, and what are some prominent examples of indigenization in India? We have the INS Vikrant, which is the first aircraft carrier built for the Navy. This is Vikrant. Okay, so there can be aircraft. See, these are the aircrafts, right? They can be launched from the ship itself. So this is an aircraft carrier. Similarly, we have the LCA Tejas. This is still under development. Okay, this is developed by HAL and DRDO. Okay, it is indigenously made. Like presently, we have the Sukhoi Mk-30. Then we have the Mirage 2000. We have the Rafale. So instead of that, now Tejas would be our own indigenously made aircraft. Similarly, the Agni 5. As part of the ICBM, we have the Agni 5, which is an intercontinental ballistic missile. So it can target even Pakistan and China, all parts of Pakistan and China. It has a range more than 5,000 kilometers. So this was made in India by our own indigenous efforts. The ICBM, it was actually under Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Yes, and we have the BRAHMOS. In BRAHMOS, Indian contribution is 50.5%. So just a little more than 50%. We have made it. So we can call it indigenized because it is the world's fastest supersonic missile. World's, not India's, world's fastest supersonic missile, BRAHMOS. It is our pride of the Indian missile systems. Then we have Dhanush. Okay, it is a long range artillery gun, and you can call it Desi Bofors. So it is an artillery gun which launches but prepared by India itself. Then we have Arihant. Arihant is your first indigenous nuclear submarine. Okay, it runs on nuclear power, and it also can hold the nuclear weapons. It is developed by BARC and DRDO. Yes. So those are our importance, the challenges, and some examples. And apart from what the government is doing, you can also add some way forward. Like we are heading definitely in the right direction, but some more steps are required. Like mostly, there are objections and disputes between the foreign vendors and India, or in the strategic partnership model between the ministries, or between the private sector and the ministry, or between the private sector and DRDO. There are a lot of clashes. So for that, we need a permanent arbitration cell. Because the time delays, one aspect of time delay is the disputes, they go to the courts, they go to the judiciary. So in the judiciary, there is a time delay. So instead of that, we can have this arbitration, okay, as an alternative dispute resolution mechanism, right? And there should be definitely a boost to private sector. This is the foremost important part. If you see the success stories of US or France, why are they so successful? Because they have a very strong private manufacturing in defense. So India also, we need to develop our private sector boost. And we also should have the software industry and technologies like AI and cybersecurity. So by this, we can have the disruptive war technologies. Okay, we had discussed last week on this disruptive war technologies about how to use such cutting edge technologies in defense. Okay, you can see in the playlist, it is there in the last week, this video, you can watch this. Then providing financial and administrative autonomy to DRDO. We have seen DRDO has been told as the white elephant because it is not given a proper autonomy. Okay, there is a time delay. It is not able to manage the R&D. So for that, we need the financial and administrative autonomy for DRDO. And not only that, there should be training and tenure system. Okay, because these defense deals, these defense procurement things and the manufacturing, they have a long gestation period. So we need a career service dealing with this defense procurement. Okay, so for a long period of time, a civil servant should be monitoring that what is a defense acquisition or how to develop, how to improve R&D. Okay, there is a longer gestation. So the tenure should be raised. And a robust supply chain is required to minimize the costs. That's why we have our defense industrial corridors. Okay, so based on this, we have seen there can be some prelims questions also, like LCA Tejas, your Vikrant, Bofors and ICBM. Are they, which of the following are indigenously made? They can be prelims question in that way, or else since it's there directly in the main syllabus, they can be question like this. Self-reliance in defense manufacturing is crucial for defense capability and to maintain national sovereignty and achieve military superiority. So you should identify these words. Self-reliance, Atmanirbhar. इसका हिंदी ट्रांसलेशन वही होगा, आत्मनिर्भर. मतलब in the mains paper, self-reliance अगर होगा, दिल से आत्मनिर्भर. Similarly, defense capability, defense manufacturing is another keyword. Capability and manufacturing, and maintaining national sovereignty. You should highlight about how national sovereignty is important, China and Pakistan, and military superiority, of how India can become a global superpower and how we are spending so much, but we are spending on a foreign nation. So all of this you should analyze. That is the keyword analyze. You should identify the keywords, and just like how we are having a chemistry analysis, you should identify the components of keywords, and you should explain it in context to defense manufacturing. Okay. After this class, I'm sure you would be able to write a good answer on this. Okay. And of course, for our loyal crowd who are watching our YouTube videos and also on the Gradeup app, we have our Gradeup Super subscription, as you're aware, where you get unlimited access to 11 plus structured live courses. Okay. Not one, not two, 11 courses you get just at one go. instead of taking one course from one teacher or another course from another teacher, another institute, another website, and getting lost in the whole process, yes, and losing your time, losing your resources, just one subscription, say you get the entire preparation for IAS, and not only IAS, all the UPSC examinations. That is through our Gradeup Super subscription, our own unique program. Just one subscription, you get access to everything. Okay, and currently, as part of Diwali, to light up your lives, we have our flat 40% on Gradeup Super. Okay, 40% off, and today is the last day. Yes, so all of you are watching this video and you're thinking of taking a Gradeup Super subscription, there cannot be a better day. You're getting flat 40% off today. Use the code LIGHT40 and you'll be getting 40% off directly. So please make a proper use of this opportunity, and because with this, your entire UPSC preparation or EPFO preparation can be complete, okay, with just one subscription. Yes. And what are we offering in the 11 plus courses? We are offering IAS 2021 Pre-Coms Mains Batch, a complete NCERT module, and both of these are in English and Hindi. We have our EPFO course, Economy, Geography, Environment, Polity, History, General Science. So all of these 11 courses you're getting just with one subscription. Okay, Gradeup Super subscription. And today is the last day where we have the flat 40% off. Okay, and apart from that, we have the free series on Gradeup app. You can go to UPSC exams and you can go under Prepare tab, and Prepare tab we have daily we have 12 o'clock a daily editorial analysis, 5 o'clock EPFO topics, 8 o'clock prelims topics, and 9 o'clock we have our daily current affairs. And also on the YouTube channel, as part of this 1 o'clock class was for UPSC CSE 2021, and 3 o'clock we have another class for EPF. Okay, so thank you so much people for this session. I hope you had a good understanding and good clarity about the Make in India and the defense sector, and combine this with the last week's class. This topic would be complete. I mean, the defense procurement and the developments in defense as part of your current affairs. Okay, so prep smart, score better, go Gradeup, and please look into the Gradeup Super subscription. And today is the last day. Please apply the coupon code LIGHT40. Okay, thank you so much. Bye.